Hi everyone, good afternoon here in Poland. It's my pleasure to open the webinar entitled the Polish-Israeli New Mobility Day. We are very happy to have everyone who's attending here today. And it's a pleasure, I hope, maybe next time we can meet apart from the internet in reality. My name is Aleksander Reich. I represent the Polish Alternative Fuels Association. It is our honor to partner up with the Israel Embassy in Poland today to host this event. Now, having said that, I will pass the floor on to Sarah Ann Maddy, the Head of Trade and Economic Mission at the Israel Embassy in Poland. Ann, please take the floor.
Thank you, Alex. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy that you're here with us, and hopefully next time you will be with us in person in Warsaw. Today we planned basically more of an introductory meeting between the PSPA members and the Israeli companies that we have here. We will start with a short presentation of the Export Institute. Shiri Ram will be presenting the Israeli market in smart mobility and connectivity in mobility in general. And then we will pass the mic to the Israeli companies and to the members here who would like to introduce themselves and discuss how Israeli companies can work with them for smarter mobility. So thank you all for joining. And now if we have Shiri on board as a panelist, then I'm checking.
My presentation is going to be first.
I don't see her here. Alex, if you can add her as a panelist. I see Nav twice. Shiri.
My presentation will be first, so I'll start. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, so I'll start with our presentation and then we pass the floor on to Shiri.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So I'll start with the perspective of the Polish market and then we pass on to the Israeli market, if that's fine. And so can I please ask for our presentation to be on the screen? Yes, so I will begin. Thank you very much for the introduction, Sarah Ann Maddy. And we go and delve straight into the intricacies of the Polish market. Now, we decided to present it as an area of opportunity and the potential investments that we can offer to the Israeli market and to other markets that will enter Poland. And with that I begin. We as PSPA represent the entire new mobility market, and that entails 210 companies at this point, 210 members. We have many institutional partnerships, quite extensive, mostly with cities, academic institutions, and some diplomatic institutions. We have the honor to have a partnership with the Israeli Embassy here in Poland, and that's why we are discussing these matters today. We are the largest organization in Poland, thanks to this extensive portfolio of members and partnerships, and also the entire CEE. Doesn't have an organization that could reciprocate our scale. We're also the second largest in Europe. So we really, I think, understand this perspective of the Polish market, and we are able to really show this picture in a very detailed way. We are very active as an organization. Apart from projects like the one we are having today, we have projects that include major events. One of them, the New Mobility Congress, also featured a participation of Israeli stakeholders, with the Israeli ambassador included. Altogether, over 20,000 various stakeholders took part in our events. And we also work with the Polish public administration to ensure and foster a good legal environment for the future of e-mobility and new mobility in general. We've presented over 1,500 various amendments and recommendations of the law. Many of them have actually become law. As you can see, the portfolio of our members is very extensive. I showed you the numbers before, but as you can see with the logos, there are all the companies from the entire e-mobility and new mobility value chain, from OEMs through charging EV charging infrastructure companies, through financial institutions, energy companies, all the way through software, municipal solutions, and lithium-ion battery sector companies. So really, many are there. Some companies that we'll be presenting today, we have the honor also of having in our portfolio. I'm sure you can see their logos listed here as well. But going into the market, which I think is the key issue here, the Polish market is 20 million vehicles. The car park contains that many cars, and I mean, that's a very big market, but in the past 20 years, 16 million of these vehicles have been imported from the West. So they are often very old, very typically internal combustion engines based on diesel powertrains. But e-mobility is rising, and this is something that we're trying to drive as PSPA. We currently have slightly over 30,000 battery electric vehicles in Poland, 60,000 electric vehicles altogether on this market. Still a small number, but as you can see, it really shows the same growth that we can see in the European Union at about 80% of new vehicle registrations rise year to year between 2021 and 2022 in mid-year of this year. This is very similar for the charging stations. The pattern of a 50% year-to-year rise is often registered also in the Western and Northern EU markets, with one major difference. The total numbers are much lower. With charging infrastructure, we at the moment have 2,494 charging stations. 1/3 of those charging stations are fast DC type stations. So this is still a very low number. This is around 5,000 charging points. But we see that this rise year to year is also much larger thanks to the developing ecosystem of new mobility, e-mobility, and various assets of this type in Poland. As you can see, there are various investments and facilities spaced out around the Polish territory here, pertaining to the various important sectors of this industry. Of course, Poland is a big power in terms of e-bus production and exports. We have, of course, Solaris, the brand everyone knows and recognizes, but there is also Volvo buses, MAN buses, ARP, a Polish company, and some others as well. This includes manufacturing capacities, and hence every second bus exported by the EU e-bus is made in Poland, which is a huge, I think, a huge part of the overall EU economy that we support with this sector. We don't really make EVs, but we make a lot of EV components. We have an automotive sector of 400,000 employees. 280,000 of those employees are the ones involved in engines or engine parts for ICE vehicles at this point. But that is a big power for the transition to be made, so they can transfer into aligned industries. Such aligned industries are, for example, the lithium-ion battery industry. We have the largest manufacturing plant in the EU, and we are the third largest battery exporter in the world at this point for EVs. So this is also a very big strength of ours. A lot of companies within this value chain, from manufacturing of entire packs through components and all the way to recycling of rare metals. That is all that is entailed in the Polish value chain. Of course, EV charging is a big strength as well, and hence we come to our predictions. Our predictions show that these numbers for e-mobility will grow very rapidly. Within the year 2025, we're seeing a growth of the fleet to around 300,000 BEVs by 2025, and for the charging infrastructure to nearly 40,000 charging points. That's nearly tenfold of what we have today for the charging infrastructure. You see those numbers growing even more in the years to come, but we keep these predictions within 2025 to make them very credible and make them trustworthy, and really we're seeing that they are realistically coming into play as we speak. So as I said, we're going to try to present the Polish market as opportunities and areas of potential. The first opportunity that I'd like to mention is the opportunity of the electrification of commercial vehicles. So the heavy-duty sector. Every fifth truck in Europe, in the EU, in Europe, is Polish, is registered in Poland. We have the largest fleet of such vehicles. Incidentally, also, they are on average 12 years old, so they're pretty old. And out of the 30,000 such vehicles registered last year, only 4 were zero-emission vehicles. This presents an enormous potential of investment and transition that can be made. Of course, this is supported by EU legislation such as AFIR, 10T targets, truck emission standards, CO2 emission standards, which will probably be presented in the first quarter of next year. At least that's what we hope for. And so all this together is a strong push and will provide the market with a strong impulse to develop. Opportunity number two, as we'd like to put it, is the opportunity I talked about in the growth of 10 times, so the public charging infrastructure. The public charging infrastructure, as I said, nearly 5,000 charging points, close to 2,500 charging stations, but already, on average, nearly 15 vehicles per charging point in Poland. Now that is a growing number. And of course, there is a fear of queues lining up to charging stations. This is not the case right now. I can say this as an EV user who of course, tries to charge their vehicle every day, and I don't see these queues taking place. But that process is slowly increasing. And so we need to develop this charging infrastructure, and not only because we wish to develop it or we want to develop it, but also because the EU is dictating this development, which is highly desirable. For AFIR targets, which are the targets that will be mandatory for Poland to fulfill by 2025, by 2030, we know that we're going to have to greatly increase the installed capacity of our EV charging infrastructure. It is at 77 megawatts at this point today. Per the most easygoing proposal of the European Commission, so the first iteration of the Fit for 55 package proposal of AFIR, we already would have to have 438 megawatts by 2025. And that is very ambitious. We actually want this to be as highly ambitious as can be, not only for Poland, but for the entire Central Eastern European region. But it also shows that these numbers are realistic and we will achieve those levels and we want to achieve them. Although you can see that per the most ambitious levels, this is a growth of 15 times in just 2.5 years. So these investments are coming, and already the subsidy program that was launched and developed by the Polish government and the verge of December, January last year and this year shows that these programs are coming along and this potential is real. The second potential opportunity area is the private charging stations. So we think that by 2025, again, 2.5 years from today, or even a little bit less actually, we will have between 90,000 and 115,000 such private points. This is an enormous growth. And as you can see, 4 out of 5 EV drivers in Poland prefer to charge at home and choose that solution as better. And that includes myself and probably many others who you would know or speak to in Poland on this market. But it's also highly reflecting of what's happening in Western Northern EU or the UK. So this will grow immensely, and this is highly connected to the growth of the fleet, of course. So the investment in this area will be, it's not only highly probable, but I think is guaranteed for the companies coming into the market. Now, a sector that I have mentioned before, which is our pride, I guess, but needing much more investment in innovation, startups, in bringing in know-how, and not only assembling and putting together technology that is imported into Poland, is something that we have to really focus on. And this is true for many other markets of the Central Eastern European region, but for Poland this is especially true because of our high position in terms of the global manufacturing of lithium-ion batteries for EVs. As you can see, by 2021, that's 30 billion PLN worth of exports. That is 2% of our annual export value. That's lithium-ion batteries for EVs. So still an immense potential for investment and bringing in business and interesting opportunities. Now, opportunity number 5 is, I think, particularly important and particularly interested as well. This is the opportunity of shared mobility and smart mobility solutions. As you know, we have a shared mobility operator, as I hope you know, called Panek. We have some others, of course, Traffic or HappyGo and 4Mobility as well. But Panek really has over 50% of the market and is the major operator. Many of the vehicles are electric, but also 150 cities in Poland are already using e-scooter services of various nature, of various software solutions. We have 90 cities that implemented bike sharing solutions, and of course 13 cities that are now using e-mopeds, which is something that we see also very interesting, and kind of, I guess, the pursuit of electromobility is zero emission mobility, but in the end it's also autonomous solutions and getting rid of vehicles from city centers. And these solutions, this shared mobility area, is a great opportunity for that future to become a reality as soon as possible. In Poland it's developing, and cities are very maybe so to say hungry for these kinds of offers and solutions that can come into their market. This also entails various innovative software and technological solutions that can be brought to the Polish local authorities. Now, opportunity number 6 is very strictly tied to the problem that we have in Poland, the problem of our energy mix being based in 80% on coal. Now, these coal energy production sources are a big problem, and we're trying to shift towards renewables as fast as we can. As you can see, in terms of installed electric power, we have growths of 100%. Both for production as well for PVs. Now, PVs started developing very rapidly in Poland. This is very promising and good because it's the development of a prosumer energy market. We're having a slower development of wind energy, and this is both for installed capacity as well as for the production, but still there is growth. And what's very important, I think, is to observe that there is nearly no growth in terms of the conventional energy manufacturing and installed capacity. That has to be halted while the others have to be driven forward. And this is not only the investment of various technologies, various operators, various new ideas and concepts of how to develop this area, but it's also related, and very highly so, to being able to repair the grid and host this balancing of energy input and of electric capacity in the system. This is also very important for electromobility, because matched with the PVs that are developing so quickly, we need the grid to be very resilient. We need the transformer stations to be very resilient, because of course prosumer energy markets require prosumers giving back the energy into the grid, so it has to be resilient. And this is observed by the Polish government. The subsidy scheme I mentioned for public charging infrastructure also included a 1 billion Polish zloty, which is around 200 million euro, investments in grid repairs and various other grid amendments and projects. So this is an enormous opportunity, I think, for foreign investors. Now, to sum it all up, we've prepared a matrix that shows which areas have the biggest potential for further development and what is their competition level. Now, as you can see, the competition level at its highest rises to about 70% in our assessment. Now, this is not that much, and I think it shows that there's still a lot of space on this market to come onto it and invest, because there is a lot of presence of companies, but still the opportunity and the potential is vast. Now, in terms of the potential of investing and to develop this market, it's very high for the heavy-duty transportation. As I said, we are the biggest market for this in Europe. 30% of all the goods transported by cargo, by heavy-duty on roads in the EU is transported by Polish operators. So this is a huge opportunity. As you can see, we assess the highest potential opportunities also for the expansion of the public charging network. This is a big country. You have 7,500 kilometers of the TEN-T network. So the network of roads that is mostly concerned by the high capacity targets presented in AFIR. So the regulation that I mentioned earlier, proposed by the EU as part of the Fit 55 package in July last year. Private charging stations are also developing very rapidly. We're looking forward to the directive on the energy performance of buildings, which is very important in terms of developing this as well. And it's part of the Fit for 55 package. We're really crossing our fingers for that to be very ambitious as well. And the lithium-ion battery sector, of course. So we are already the manufacturer of the EU #1 market, but it doesn't mean that there is no space for development. There is immense space for development, for components, for resources, for sensors, for highly advanced software solutions for the battery management systems, and various other associated areas. Now, the shared mobility project, the only limit we see here, and that's why this is not a 10 by 7, is some of the budgetary issues because of its strict connection to local authorities, which have a slightly different mechanism of acquiring funds. But with the resilience and recovery facility that may be brought by the European Commission into the Polish economy, which we hope for in the near future, this can be an answer, and this can unlock the various channels and ways to establish this as a strong potential and opportunity. And of course, renewable energy sources. Now we assess this highly. The competition is not that high. It's just slightly over 50% as we see it. But the fact that it is based on coal so much makes it a little bit difficult to move, to nudge forward. But once this happens, we really see an enormous investment potential that is highly tied to the smart mobility, new mobility solutions. And with that, I hope we hear a lot of really interesting things. I look forward to these presentations and pitches that we will hear. And hopefully we can meet in Poland and really start implementing various investments and plans of the Israeli companies and our friends who will come here to drive this market forward. Now with that, I thank you for your attention. And I would like to pass the floor to Shiri Ram, the head of Mobile, Smart Cities and Innovation Ecosystem at the Export Institute. Shiri, please take the floor. We're still waiting for Shiri. I'm hearing from our technical support. So meanwhile, I will maybe say that we have really a lot of the Israeli smart mobility value chain with us here today. This is great news, I think, for the market to be able to find out what is offered, what the market looks like for the Israeli companies in smart mobility. And I think it's a big perspective for next year. Many changes are coming. The Fit for 55 package will be implemented here in Poland. And many steps will be taken in terms of the economy. There will be an election year shortly after that, so there will be a lot of turmoil, a lot of activity here on the Polish market, and I see that as a very good time to start planning next steps, because stability will ensue after that, and so the market will become stable and very, I think, foreseeable for the next 5 years or even decades to come. Please, do we have Shiri yet?
Alex, can you hear me or see me?
I can hear you, yes, and I can now see you. It's great to see you. So I passed the floor to you.
Just to tell you, I was here all the time, just that my panelist registration didn't work, but I hear all of your very interesting presentation, and thank you, of course, of having me. So if that's okay in terms of timeline, I'll take it from here. Okay, can you see the presentation mode? Wonderful. Hi, good afternoon from Tel Aviv. Thank you, everyone. At least if we are not in Warsaw today, we can send you some a good amount of temperature and sun. And this is something in our days. So my name is Shiri. I'm the head of mobile sector and smart city, smart mobility technologies. And as I said before, it was really interesting to hear the insights from the Polish market. And I hope that by the presentations of the Israeli companies, you'll get some of the idea of what we have here, technical-wise, business-wise, and as Saran also said, next time in Poland for sure. So let's drill down a little bit, maybe with some like high-level information and numbers of what we experience here in the high-tech sector here in Israel. So you can see, while Israel years ago started mostly by exporting oranges, that the picture is slightly different these days, and the growth of the Israeli export is steadily growing up, and we saw it beautifully on 2021. And then from that part, the parts of high technology is even bigger, and by 2021 took 74% of the general Israeli export. In terms of innovation, and you, Alex, mentioned it a lot, how much this kind of innovation to all sectors, but definitely when we are looking on young sectors like smart city, smart mobility, and automotive, how much the innovation is critical. And so in that term, Israel ranked today at the 7th most innovative country, with some others, and that's and fact taken from the Bloomberg Innovation Index. And then again, if we're looking about capital raised for this kind of research and development innovation, we are talking about numbers, the impressive numbers of 32 billion just from 2020. Sorry, I didn't have the number yet for 2022. I'm sure soon we can look back into this time, but definitely didn't go lower than that. But then we want to focus more on the special topic we all gathered here today for. And when we look into the area of smart cities, smart mobilities, there is something that is very clear. In order to all of this beauty happen, we have to make sure, and this is, a call for governments, for municipalities, and for the MNOs. We have to make sure that the connectivity in the country enable us and is sure that we can upload and offer to the users and to other companies the level of connectivity that they need for those services. So then obviously, once we make sure that the digitalization process is in place and the connectivity allows a good level, certain level, solid level of IoT, then we can move on with the different technologies and services that all the innovative companies offers us today. Smart mobility, as we all know, is about things, moving things, talking to other moving things, whether they are vehicles, people, infrastructure components, and the different, even critical assets around us. So the whole driving scene became very packed in recent years with different kind of mobility, whether it's for industrial, whether it's for public transportation, and whether it's just for our personal needs. But it's there. It's going to be even more crowded. And this is why we need all those different technologies to support the situation. The segment that we are here in Israel mostly, seeing as common for technology developments would be those that are dealing with connected cars, with sharing mobility, navigation, fleet management, parking, and big data. And if we want to call it as or look at it at the V2X market, we already, and I believe you also, you mentioned 2025, Alex, and I saw already the numbers for 2026, around 8 billion. No, it's not a market to ignore. So looking at this vehicle to everything market, and we look at the technologies that, as I mentioned before, communicate with different infrastructures, giving us the information of what's going on around us in order, one, to improve things and take them to the next level, whether it's safetiness, whether it's a flow of either traffic or just the human life in the public zone, and of course, as well, reduce the level of energy consumption all around us. You know, just a quick glimpse of different segments and companies and logos that we have here. I could put many more. I didn't want to tiring your eyes, but a few of them you'll meet here today. You'll hear and see their presentations, and the rest probably while visiting you in Poland. So thank you very much, and I hope you'll find the presentation interesting.
Very interesting, and to see all that smart technology coming in for smart charging, for V2X, for the various smart municipal solutions as well is very exciting. And we would love to have, of course, as many of those solutions as we can here in Poland. That's all very, very important actually for the main challenges of the economy, so the grid stability, energy, and mobility as a whole. So thank you very much for this. This sounds very interesting, and I guess with that we can go straight to the company pitches, company presentations. We will start with Aclist, Iris Gantz, the VP Business Development of that company. If you are with us, please, you have 7 to 8 minutes to present. So we're still waiting for the connection, I guess. But again, I'm very excited because we have quite a lot of these companies here with us, and we have actually 2 guests from Poland as well who will present some of the Polish acumen in terms of what we offer. But I think most importantly what we have said, and Anne has said it, and you sure you have said it as well, it's the potential to meet in person, I hope next year, because it's very important for these connections to be established in a way much more dependable than just an online remote connection.
Hi.
So,
I would like to start. My name is Eyal Nouri from Assist. I would like to start with a short video that will explain in very short exactly what are we doing. Let me share my screen.
Smart city, it's all about connectivity. Today's connectivity solution for smart city are very hard to implement. We need to deploy many smart devices spread all over the city, requires a very fast, high performance, reliable and secure network. We solve this problem. We are able to put our network, Assist network, into an existing infrastructure, reduce the amount of cables, and make it practical to install.
Here you can see our demo of a smart pole powered by Polarity 2 unit. It includes 2 cameras, a smart light controlled by DALI, an SOS button. The Polarity 2 unit, IP65 certified, is designed to be installed inside or outside of the pole. The pole is physically divided into 2. One compartment is low voltage, which includes power for the lamp. The other is a very low voltage that contains the Polarity unit itself.
Assist connects outdoor camera and sensor with robust edge network, leveraging the existing infrastructure of streets and highways. All this with minimal resource, time, and disturbance to the public, and maximum reliability.
Assist vision is to help cities to deploy their smart project faster, better, and cheaper.
So basically, the thing that we are providing is a smart network, outdoor network, for any smart mobility, any smart city applications.
all right. We have some technical difficulties. There is a different channel that has entered our transmission. So I think what we have to do is come back to Assist. Maybe we can try it with, pass to the next speaker from Elink Air, Gad Haran, the founder and CEO of the company. Are you with us? So we're changing your status to presenter, and maybe you'll be able to join, and then we fix the other issue. Very sorry for this again, but we have no influence over this. That's why it's always better to meet in person. I hope we can fix that in the future, most of all. Hi, hello, I can see you, and
Hello.
please, if you can take the floor, and then we'll fix the other issues before. Hopefully they won't take place now.
Okay, I will try to share my screen. Yeah, let me, like this. Do you see it? Okay, so eLinker is a startup company that develops this apparatus that you see on top of the roof of the bus. This apparatus is meant to deliver electricity from overhead lines to the electric bus, just like electric train or electric tram. And that is an apparatus that will enable transportation of buses in public lanes to be electrified in more economical and efficient way. Today, there is no such solution for buses. Siemens is working on technology like this for trucks. Our apparatus will be adapted to trucks in the second stage during the coming year. But at the moment, it is developed mainly for buses. It is for dynamic charging of the buses during their drive through the day. So they will not have to have a charging depot at night, or they will not need to have fast charging stations along the route. Both the existing solutions of charging depot at night and fast charging during the day are a very expensive solution. Bus rapid transit, which is the backbone of transportation for many cities around the world, actually several hundreds of them, will need to become electric because of the pollution inside the cities. So it will become electric, and eventually it will become also driverless. And when these two goals will be achieved, the capacity of the ED BRT will be like underground metro. But the benefits are enormous because it costs about 15% of underground metro, and it is 1/3 of light rail train. Here in Israel, we have a lot of projects of light rail trains. The cost per kilometer is around $150 million US, while in bus rapid electric system, it is less than 30 million per kilometer. Now, the dynamic charging, what we are developing, is going to replace what you see here in the picture is the fast charging stations, which are extremely expensive, and the infrastructure to bring electricity to these stations is underground, which is very nice. It's very aesthetic. That's of course, but it's also cost about 3 times more. Our system will have already developed electro-optic system that enable the TCC, the telescopic current collector, to engage and disengage automatically without the intervention of the driver. It is suitable to charge the bus stationary or during motion. The bus can leave the lane and return to the lane automatically. What you see here is a picture of highway in between Frankfurt and Darmstadt, where this is a Siemens installation for trucks. But our apparatus will be able to work on this system as well. It will be completely compatible. We have patents developed around this technology, and we expect it to be ready for homologation end of next year. What we look is the partners in the auto industry, partners for making pilot and testing, investors, of course, are welcome, and contacts with relevant institutions and government organs. That's about it, what I thought I would present in the short time frame. Any questions are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's been very interesting. I am amazed by your time discipline. You only took 5 minutes of the time that you could use, but thank you very much. Very interesting, and actually the understanding of the difference of the charging capacities and how to apply them in a smart, intelligent way, not to overload the grid and to extend grid connection time is very valuable, I think. So thank you very much for this. And we will now try to go back to ASYST, hopefully with no intermissions this time. So Eyal, if you are with us, I'm sorry for the trouble before. It's unexplained still, but perhaps it won't take place again.
So again, as I mentioned earlier, we built a system that is installed within the lamppost, which allows us to build a complete connectivity platform for all smart city and mobility connectivity needs for any outdoor installation. If we look today, again, the camera is the sensor, and we see a lot of cameras in any poles outdoor for transportation, for AGLS, for cybersecurity, cloud counting, and many, many more applications. All of that needs a very secure and resilient network. We have a lot of installation challenges we need to face, environmental challenges, legacy equipment, where to install, how to provide all this connectivity between the poles to cybersecurity issues, and finally the cost. Cost is a very important issue, as everybody knows. When you're talking about smart city, first of all, all the cities, we want to be smart, but there's a lot of legacy equipment and legacy poles, legacy roads, legacy building. And in order to install a lot of things in the current cities, you need to do that with minimum disturbance, to allow installation to be fast and not stopping the traffic. Just to give you an estimation, in Israel, to stop traffic in the main highway, it costs you about 20,000 euro per an hour if you stop traffic in the main highway of Israel. So all of that are the challenges we are facing. What you see here is an example of how we installed on a legacy pole, where all the equipment is installed outside, including our units, and our units provide all the connectivity for the cameras, for the LiDAR, for the sensor, for the IoT, and everything is, of course, in outdoor installation. The whole idea is that you have one device that provides three things: power, connectivity, and security to anything that you can imagine installed on the pole, from 5G picocells through any kinds of metrology sensors and thermal sensors and any IoT, digital signage, cameras, and so forth. Our solution is not only providing an Ethernet port to the devices, but also has ability to provide digital input and output to support the LED, with DALI protocol or any standard protocol, including any kinds of controlling for with dry contacts for gates and barriers and things like that. Basically, what we are doing, we are multiplying the last mile. Once you arrive to the last mile, which is for in our case the pole, the whole idea is how to provide more and more network for a different application, and we do so by providing a virtual LAN for each different application, allow them all to be installed on the same pole. So there's no need to have multiple poles for each type of smart city application. Everything, of course, is installed by a grid, where there is a complete system with automatic load balancing and zero packet loss architecture in order to provide a 24/7 connectivity. The system, all system is being managed, and it's not only managed by us, but we have also ability to be managed by a hierarchical system using SNMP or CLI command line interface to other network management system. The segment that we are running after are, of course, smart city, roads and highways, but we are also in edgeless, fences, and 5G. I think by that I cover most of my time. There's a lot of advantages for the solution, but I'll let you all read the presentation after sharing it with you once the session is over. Any questions?
I think the questions, due to the time constraints, we will of course pass on if there are any, and we'll let you know about that. I'm sure there will be many, actually. Very interesting solutions. Again, it's great to be able to finish that presentation because it was very interesting. I think the advantages come to mind immediately when you present the solutions. I think the biggest advantage, of course, as you said, the cost savings that are possible with your solutions, but also the smart mobility that we can implement. Thank you very much for this. And we will now go. Thank you. And now we will go on to Hop-On. Ofer Sinai, the co-founder. Are you with us? So I understand you are yet not with us, but we can wait. So we will go to Mobileye, Maciej Sekula instead. We will wait for Hop-On. Mobileye, of course, is a global brand, so not much of an introduction needed. A member of PSPA, which I'm proud to say. The regional manager for the NCE, Maciej Sekula, please take the floor, take it away.
Okay, now I think it should be okay.
Yes, we can see it perfectly, please.
Yes, so welcome again. My name is Maciej Sekula. I'm regional manager in Mobileye Intelligent Mobility Solution Division. And I want to quickly tell you how Mobileye technology can help Poland to improve road safety. Yeah, so just quick overlook and on the global problem of the road traffic accidents, which is well known. And in Poland, unfortunately, we are struggling with this problem for many years, and still thousands of people are dying on the roads, and even more are heavily injured every day, actually. And not only it's a human tragedy, but it's also costful for our Polish economy, reaching out the total number of about 40 billion Polish zloty last year. And the reason for it is it's a human driver that's causing collision, and most of it, 80% of the collision are happening when with 2 or 3 seconds of inattention of the driver just before the accident, looking on the smartphone, texting, or being just distracted. Additionally, with large vehicle, we have significant blind spot around them in front and inside of the vehicle that are causing the threat for cyclists and pedestrians. Mobileye is not, it was a startup one day over 20 years ago in Israel. Now it's one of the biggest success of a startup nation. And from the very beginning, we wanted to invent a system to help the driver to mitigate collisions. And we created the category called now ADAS, Advanced Driver Assist Systems, with being more active right now, like active cruise control, emergency braking, and many others. We're also paving the way to autonomous vehicles. We are testing this technology all over the world with being quite successful. And all our idea is based on human vision, human eye, and using just the video vision and algorithms to analyze all the situation around in front of the vehicle and around it, both day and night, never get tired, recognizing pedestrians, other vehicles, infrastructure, and give the additional warning to the driver if there is a risk of collision. So far, we delivered over 120 million chips to almost 40 global automakers, and our systems are included in over 700 different models. But not only that, we also use the same technology that could be retrofitted to every single car on the road, no matter how old is it, especially in Poland, where there is a lot of older cars with no ADAS as a standard feature. We can put it to every passenger car, every truck, bus, giving even additional connected possibilities for the fleets to analyze the statistics and improve driver behavior. So it looks like it's quite easy. We recognize the area in front of the vehicle, and if there is risk of collision with pedestrian, cyclist, other vehicle, we warn the driver. Also, we help him to, let's say, to recognize the distance from the vehicle in front and inform him if it's too low, if he's exceeding speed, if he's drifting from the lane, all that to improve his driving habits and also to reduce the cost of maintenance the vehicle. With the buses, we have additional cameras on the side of the bus that informs the driver if there is a cyclist or pedestrian in a blind spot, warning him if our system calculates the risk of the collision. Our systems are already used by multiple OEMs, fleets, insurance companies, leasing companies, public transport operators around the world. Just quickly give you what are the main advantages. First of all, it's reducing the collisions and costs related to collisions, improving driver habits. One thing for safety, the other is for savings and decreasing, for example, fuel consumption. In public transport, almost all of the buses in London are using our technology, reducing collisions with other vehicles and buses in front. Also, additionally, reducing claims from the injured passengers inside of the bus, simply because of the improving the driver habits, who's driving smoothly, not causing passengers to fall. In general, first of all, we save lives, we reduce collisions and accidents, but thanks to it, we can reduce the cost of insurance. We have partners in Poland, insurance brokers and companies who can give extra discount for installation of Mobileye. We see that fleets using Mobileye are using less fuel, spend less money for services costs. They decrease the downtime of the car, serving the customers and drivers better. I want to create in Poland an ecosystem, including not only fleets, but also politicians, like to create law and maybe also insurance companies to raise the awareness of ADAS and how we can really improve the safety and reduce the cost for everyone on this market. I want to use the short example how did it happen in Israel, where there was a test showing that cars with Mobileye has less than half insurance claims than vehicles without Mobileye. There were multiple studies, but it led Israel to improve, to, let's say, introduce the awareness and incentivize ADAS on the market. It was a tax reduction helping to retrofit the system. And in 2016, ADAS, like forward collision warning and lane departure warning, is right now mandatory for every every vehicle above 3.5 tons, no matter if it's a new or old one. This increasing number of ADAS in the cars is really showing how the decrease of fatalities on the road can move in the same time. In Europe, we also see that without technology, we cannot reach our Vision Zero target. So there is a regulation called General Safety Regulation that mandates such a systems like ours to be installed in every truck and bus, but only for the new ones. And in Germany, we have the regulation to retrofit, also to subsidize the fleets from the minimis program to help improve and help let's improve the safety of the cyclists and pedestrians on the road. In Spain, we use the budget, the funding created by the City of Barcelona and Ministry of Transportation to help fleets to invest in ADAS, to reduce costs and to reduce the accidents, also provide valuable data for the city to help them manage the city in a better way. We have multiple insurance companies in our ecosystems. Just to shortly give you some brief look into our portfolio, I'm really willing to work with Polish companies, so please feel free to contact me. Thank you very much.
Just slightly over time, but it's okay. Very interesting, and of course, Mobilize offer is great, and I hope that Polish cities and the Polish economy will quickly respond to this offer in a positive way. We will now try to go back to Hop On. Mr. Ofer Sinai, the CEO and co-founder. Are you with us, sir? So you're connecting, as I hear. It's just seconds away, apparently.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Great. Yes. Hello. Please take it away.
Right. Thank you. All right. Just a second. All right. So good afternoon. My name is Ofer. I'm a founder of a company called Hop On. We are providing mobility as a service platform in Israel and Europe. Just a second. All right. So in terms of the company was established a couple of years ago. Currently working with more than 30 municipalities and public transportation agencies and authorities in Israel and in Europe. In Israel, we are operating as a B2C platform. So that means every month we are meeting more than 1 million inhabitants who are using our platform to navigate and pay on their daily commute. Outside of Israel, we are launching the platform together with our partners, and I will get into that. Tel Aviv public transportation network we used to look like that, and that was not too long ago. That was up to March 2020, when we crossed enough percentage of the population who were already using our platform as the digital platform for public transportation. But it used to be a zone-based system. So that means in Tel Aviv and in the rest of the country, there were different zones of tariffs, and people had to choose in advance whether they want to travel from zone A to zone B or zone A, B, C, and that create confusion. We also used to have an onboard payment mechanism, so that means buses were actually spending up to 4 minutes per station during rush hours just to allow those 15 to 20 people to hop on the bus. And lucky for us, we actually worked together with the Ministry of Transportation of Israel to change the local regulation. And since we had the platform in place, we had the technology that supports people. Since March 2020, people they just don't have the opportunity or the ability to pay on board, since they have to come with a valid ticket or pass or with the mobile. Hop On is driving the industry of ticketing towards mobility as a service, where we're already enabling some of the cities with our seamless and best price meter-based postpaid, which means that using our platform, for example, today in Israel, people doesn't have to choose in advance the packages or the zones. They are just traveling. each month they are paying based on their previous travel. So if they haven't traveled a lot, they are paying minimum tariffs. If they are traveling a lot, they are not paying more than the monthly pass tariff. And the system, we actually switched it towards meter based. So that means in the old system, like it is today in most of the cities in the Western world, when you're crossing between zones, for example, you're on the last bus stop of zone A and you want to move to zone B, even if it's 100 or 200 meter journey, sometimes you're actually paying a double tariff. Using our platform today in Israel, everything is based on meters. So if you are traveling up to 15 kilometers, and it doesn't matter where in the country you are using public transportation, you're going to pay this the minimum tariff. If you are traveling a longer trip, you're going to pay more. But again, it will always be a best price with a postpaid. So you are not paying in advance. You are not paying while you are traveling. You once a month, we are billing your account with a best price. So if you travel a lot, you won't pay more than the monthly tariff. Today, we are supporting cities and transportation agencies with multimodal. That means in Israel, we are supporting buses, shared ride, lighter trains, bicycles, scooters, and more. We are supporting our customers, which sometimes are the public transit operators or the transit authorities, with several different microservices that we have in the platform. So some of them are driver app for automatic vehicle location. In other places, we are supporting with our ticketing platform, with a mobility budget, and I'll get into that. This is an example of what we are doing with automatic vehicle location. So we've created like a Waze for bus drivers, because if you're a bus driver, you actually cannot use Waze because Waze would take you from point A to point B, and you need to get from point A to point B through 14 different bus stops. So together with our clients, we actually created a very useful tool for bus drivers to navigate in the route. And that is also helping the customers, the end user, the passengers, to get accurate real-time location of the bus and the vehicle, and where it is and when it's supposed to get into the bus stops. This is an example of what we are doing with mobility budget. So using our platform, we are helping companies and organizations to limit their carbon footprint by encouraging their employees and customers to actually switch and move towards public and shared transportation by offering them subsidized mobility services, which is based per actual use. So that means if you're an employer and you have 100 employees and you want to encourage them to use the public or shared transportation in the city versus arriving to the office with their private cars, mobility budget is a great fit for you. And again, together with the cities and transportation agencies, we are actually delivering the mobility budget platform to employers, malls, restaurants, schools, and many others who are encouraging their customers or employees to actually consume public or shared transportation. And within very short period of time that since we launched this service, we are already doubling the number of employees in the office, which are actually using public or shared transportation in order to get to the office, since they are getting a budget which is dedicated for that. We also launched something which is called cashback, using different affiliate programs of different e-commerce platform. We realized that most of our users, or a lot of our users, while they are doing their daily commute, they have their hands free and they are in the mobiles, and what they are looking is searching for something to buy. So therefore, we launched the cashback platform. So that means if you're traveling with us and you are doing your e-commerce purchases while you are on board, you're immediately getting back 5% as a cashback to your future rides for the bus or the train. And this is growing dramatically every day now. Definitely this Black over this November time of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, etc., with dozens of thousands of commuters who are actually doing their e-commerce purchases with us. And this is another example of our trip planning tool. And an example of our MaaS platform. This on the right side, you can actually see the app that we launched in the city of Leipzig in Germany, where people are actually consuming public transportation together with shared transportation like bike sharing, e-scooters, all of them in a single platform. They don't have to open up the app of Lime app or Bird app or Voi app. They are just pressing the e-scooter button in the Leipzig Move app, and they are scanning the QR, and they don't care about the color of the scooter, and that would open up for them, and they can actually use it with a single platform. So thank you very much. I'd be happy to contact you and perhaps become make some kind of a partnership in the city of Poland.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
and,
you. Thank you.
As you saw, there is a big uptake of such solutions amongst Polish cities, and these opportunities will surely be valued by them. Mobility as a Service (MaaS) is I think is the future of mobility in total, in all sectors, and being able to control and pay for every mobility solution from a single app, and having various other business owners get involved in that whole process is really great. I congratulate you on this solution. It looks very interesting. We now move on to Movex. Ohad Noy, the CEO. I don't know if you're on with us yet.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you, hear you, and we see your presentation. So, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining me in this presentation. And my name is Ohad Noy, and I'm the founder and CEO of Movex. My experience combines deep know-how of the mobility market, customers, and operation ecosystem. We live and operate here in Israel, but mostly we are focused on North America and Europe at the moment. A few words about Movex. After leading the market in Israel in the B2B route optimization domain, we gained more than 200 customers and like 75% of the market share. We decided to take all the knowledge and experience we have gained and leverage it into much broader and scalable solution. So we start building the Movex platform and start focusing on the rest of the world. So what we do, Movex is building the platform for the future of MaaS. We know this future will be connected, will be autonomous, electric, and shared. And we think that someone need to route this future smartly. As you all know, the mobility ecosystem is changing and growing very fast. The world is shifting to consume mobility as a service. There's even a process of on-demand mobility of everything. People, vehicle moves in new ways, from ride sharing and the adoption of electric vehicles through micromobility, logistics, and even deliveries in 15 minutes, and up to autonomous vehicles, which are not there yet, will be shortly. While the mobility ecosystem is becoming more flexible, so the demands of all types of mobility are becoming more dynamic, and the needs are becoming more and more complex. These changes causes endless demands on the one hand, and a significant lack of supply on the other. The major issue is that there's no balance. In fact, there is no match between the developing technology and the ability to apply it on the ground. The big problem for the existing fleets failed to meet the current demand and needs. while they need to prepare for the future of mobility at the same time. So no single platform can run these services intelligently, simultaneously, at scale. And that's exactly why we built MoveX. Of course, we have a lot of pain points for the fleets. Fleets operators suffer from inability to make new rides at scale. The solutions they use often very outdated and verticals, and most of the system have been out there for 20 years and more. There's no automation, no optimization, and no ability to scale into new services of the new mobility or the e-mobility. As a result, they operate inefficiently and bear high costs and daily financial losses. So understanding this pain point and inefficiency, and out of the deep understanding that we have and the extensive experience that we have on the ground, we came out with the MoveX solution. So MoveX brings something new. It's very innovative, and we think it's a disruptive solution. We are the first fully integrated mobility platform that built to run unlimited mass scenarios and services in real time. Our platform is the next generation of autonomous dispatch and route optimization technology. It's like a combination of the best routing algorithm with a smart optimization engine that know how to apply machine learning based logic and take into account over hundreds of different parameters, connect to any source of demand and endless data points, and turn any mobility demand scenario into optimal rides. Our customers can use the platform in several different ways. They can use, or we have a complete end-to-end solution, which includes user interface and application. Alternatively, they can integrate into the platform through the robust sets of APIs that we have. And getting the intelligent layer of route optimization and automation, they need to improve. While they can continue use their own existing solution at the same time. It allows them to scale fast and smart and without any unnecessary expenses. In terms of technology, we use a top-notch technology. We have a new user interface, very flexible, very forward-thinking platform. Everything is integrated, everything is accessible, digital, everything is automated. And of course, everything is based on the extensive experience and know-how that we've gained during time. We work with diverse fleets and tech companies, municipalities, all of them with a wide range of verticals, such as tech platforms from ride-hailing and ride-sharing, first-class mile operators, airport shuttle companies, employee transportation shuttles, microtransit, fixed routes, school buses, non-emergency medical transportation, and even to delivery logistics and micromobility. The bottom lines, MoveX, our customers help them to gain more than 40% of cost reduction on average through operational efficiency, fleet orchestration, resulting, of course, from the automation and the route optimization that we achieved. So today we prepare the fleets for the future of mobility as a service to enable our customers to provide new services, meet the endless demand, generate new source of revenues, and join the smart mobility and e-mobility resolution. And at the same time, we're building a meta fleet, essentially creating distributed, connected network of fleets that can cooperate from any source of demand or services. I want to give you some examples just to understand and taste what we're doing. So one example that we have is an operation in New York City with Curb Mobility. I'm sure that some of you are familiar with the brand. Curb is one of the biggest ride-hailing app in United States. Also operate with payment and dispatch solution for taxis. And lately, they started to operate non-emergency medical transportation, which is the fastest growing segment in medical transportation in the US. Curb came to learn they came to learn that current solution couldn't handle this segment, and it is very complex, and they need to support many different attribute constraints and challenges in order to enable smart route optimization. So by using our solution, of course, they have a lot of constraints that they have to take in account. Like, for example, some related customers only like to ride in a specific driver. Some rides requests can be shared and some cannot. There are ride requests that people with disabilities and stuff like that. So by start using MoveX, we integrate in all their data points, all their booking APIs, and we start doing like the best performance, best orchestration, and we achieve them a lot of saving. Of course, this data is being analyzed and processed in seconds, and resulting of that, we optimized their efficiency. Another example is the largest New York City airport shuttle company. Go Airlink operate more than 5,000 passengers a day. Prior to MoveX, they were using 12 dispatchers and doing everything manually. They're doing like a small microtransit operation in all of New York City, very complex. They have to take into account things like traffic data, flight information, pickup, drop-off locations, stuff like that. Driver locations, even FIFO logic, who come first and how much time you can attend at the station prior to the pickup and how much time can you late to pickup. Without taking this data and analyze it, it was like with our smart algorithm, it took them 12 dispatchers to operate this operation, and like hours on hours to plan it. By using MoveX today, they're using only 2 dispatchers, and everything is happening behind the scene. We always reroute, everything is happening in milliseconds. So that's another kind of example that we use. The last one is a microtransit operation in Canada. Taxelco is a technological company. They use our solution in order to penetrate into new segments. Now they can bid on many RFPs, new RFPs. Prior to MoveX, they couldn't handle the need of the microtransit demands, and now they are doing it like that. Of course, they save a lot of money. Everything is planned, and everything is working in the most efficient way. And that's it. That's about MoveX. And if you have any further questions, I'm available. My details are here, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was just about to ask you to mind the time, but you just fit in perfectly. Thank you very much. Very innovative, I think. Definitely the Polish stakeholders need to find out about such solutions, but the time to implement them is still ahead of us. But very, an incredible solution, really, and I congratulate you as well. We hope that you will find many stakeholders to cooperate with here in Poland. Moving on swiftly to Optibus, Sylvain Farvac, I think a French name, the regional manager of Optibus. I hope you're on with us and can take the floor.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you, I can see you. Please, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Alexander. And yes, I'm French, based out of Warsaw for the past 14 years the most. So as Alexander said, I'm the regional director for Optibus in Poland and Central Eastern Europe. And I'm going to talk today about Optibus and Optibus mission, which is making public transportation better together. What's Optibus and what do we do? So back in 2014, when the company was co-founded by Amos and Eitan, our 2 co-founders, the main idea was to leverage cloud technology, so to have a solution, an end-to-end solution for public transportation planning, scheduling, rostering operations, running in the cloud, but also leveraging artificial intelligence and optimization algorithms. And when you think about this, public transportation planning, scheduling and rostering in general, it's a big math problem, right? And while you have a lot of very talented planners and schedulers, doing the work manually can be very exhausting, and may not be optimal. So we're helping with our technology, different kind of operators, agencies. We also work with corporations like Facebook or Google, where we're helping planning their workday shuttles. We also work with OEM, so mainly with bus manufacturers. We have, for instance, Volvo as a strategic investor in Optibus. We also work with cities directly, and we provide all these players an end-to-end seamless platform for from everything from planning to operations. And everything runs in the cloud, so you don't need any servers locally. You just need a laptop, an internet connection, and you're good to go. In terms of the product and why Optibus, in general. So as I said, it's a cloud-native solution, and that means not only you don't need any hardware inside your premises, it means you also get access very easily and quickly to our updates, right? We release a few dozen versions per year of our software, and you just need to log in and you will get access to the latest version. And on top of that, because it runs in the cloud, it's also very powerful and fast. That means all calculations are made on AWS, so Amazon Web Services, which means we can run several optimizations in a matter of a few seconds or minutes maximum, and all in an intuitive and user-friendly interface, as you might feel from the screenshot on the left. We really have an obsession about making our platform as user-friendly as possible, especially compared to legacy solutions that have been on the market for the past 30 or 40 years, which are, let's say, very much 90s look like. The other advantages of Optibus, as I said, it's an end-to-end solution that also includes, and you might understand it from the lightning on the right, we also include planning of electric vehicles. And we help many municipalities and operators all across the globe add this, manage this additional layer of complexity, because adding an electric bus is not only adding another regular bus, right? You need to take into account if the charging will be in the city or at the depot. You need to take into account the different parameters related to this electric bus. So when it comes to the battery consumption, to plan your trips during the day. And we help with that. We actually recently won a competition in India. I think it was in New Delhi, which is planning to roll out a few hundred electric buses in the coming years, because they fully understood that they need such a platform to manage this rollout. And we are fully flexible and customizable. And this comes with the fact that we're now a global company. As you will see in a few slides, we work with 2,000 cities all across the globe. That means every city has different requirements. So that means the platform takes that into account. However, we of course always comply with rules and regulations, because public transportation planning is not only about setting your own preferences, but you also need to take into account local break rules. And all these kind of things. And our platform, of course, will. So if hello, okay. So the platform is. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Okay, good. So the platform, if you pull apart the technology piece, right? We not only, offer very much advanced technology, but it also brings our customers a lot of business value in that way that they are able to test scenarios in a matter of minutes, so they can compare different kind of preferences that they have compared to ours, sometimes 1 day, 2 day with other solutions, where they are immediately, and they will be immediately seeing the impact in terms of the business, and also in the vehicle efficiency, as you might see on the screenshot on the right. You have a lot of business KPIs, so you can define which planning and schedule will be the most optimized according to your needs and expectations. And that is really appreciated by our customers, because obviously, and especially now in the context of driver shortage, when you need to take into account a lot of like you need to run operations with less drivers, you need to take into account that you might want to optimize the number of trips because of the increase in gas prices or electric prices. These business KPIs are very much appreciated by our customers. Our impact by the numbers. So we are unicorn since this year, May actually. As I said, we work in 2,000 cities across 30 countries. Yearly, we help save more than 11 million tons of carbon dioxide through our platform, and in particular, thanks to our electric bus module. And we help scheduling 3 billion trips, passenger trips, sorry, per year. We are a global company, so from APAC to North America, but we also have deployments in Latin America. Also in Africa, we launched the first public transport system in Kampala. So they went from nothing to Optibus, basically, to help them plan something from scratch. And we're also in Poland, in the nice city of Krakow, with Mobilis. We also have a global presence when it comes to the number of employees and the offices we have in different countries. You don't see it on the map here, but we also recently hired sales representatives in Africa, in Kenya, more precisely, in India, Japan, and Australia. So we really have a global footprint. And I guess that will be it. So thank you for your attention. And of course, feel free to reach out to me or meet me in Warsaw when you're around. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sylvain. That's a very interesting presentation, and Optibus, of course, is becoming an increasingly renowned brand. We're very happy to see that you're already established in Poland. Hopefully, more will come, and the development will ensue. Thank you very much for this. We move on to RoadSense, Mr. Baruch Guetta, co-founder and CEO of RoadSense. I don't know if you're with us yet. Let's verify. It's interesting to see in these presentations how saving budgetary costs comes aligned with the climate profit that we're getting. That's very interesting, and I think it's very good for any potential skeptics that new mobility is the solution. We have Mr. Baruch Guetta with us. Hi, I pass the floor to you. Please take it away.
Hi, hello. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I will share my screen. Yeah, can you see? Yeah, can you see my screen, please? Great, thank you. Well, my name is Baruch, I'm the CEO of RoadSense. We established RoadSense in 2019 with a very big and heavy questions. It was, yes, in 2019. Why don't we have smart roads? How come that we need to have an applications like Waze or Google Maps or just using cameras in order to understand what is happening on the public space? And we found that there's a huge gap between what cities need in order to function properly to what they have today. We found that there are 5 main reasons why we don't have smart cities everywhere. Okay, the first one is infrastructure, and then it goes to security, privacy, educating the community, and being socially inclusive. Now, each one of these topics is quite heavy, but we figured them all out, and I will be happy to show how we did it. If we look at a public space, we see it as a whole, because it makes sense to put right down the corner, to put a camera pole and look to the left, look to the right, and understand what is happening on the road. The thing is that is not quite accurate, because the left sidewalk is not acting as the right sidewalk, and the crosswalk is totally different than the one next to it. So what we are doing, we are breaking the public space into pieces, okay? And then we look on every zone or every scanned area as different and as unique. And by understand how people are crossing the crosswalk, by understanding how people acting on the curb, by understanding how long people are waiting for at the bus stop, or how they are acting at the park, then we can understand how the public space really behaves. What we are doing with our technology, we take all those unique spots and then transmit directly from them to our cloud. Then in our cloud, we take all this information and then we provide one clear picture to the municipalities or to the government or to the mayor. It depends who needs the information. With this kind of approach, we serve many departments in the city on a single platform, because we can use the operationals and then we use the planning, and we use everybody basically on the municipality. How do we do it? We've got this small sensor, like I'm holding right now in my hand, which is quite small. It's a little bit bigger than a smartphone, and it's very deployable because all we need for him to work is power. It can go from solar poles or smart pole like Assist got. It can work on wind turbines, and it doesn't have a camera in it, but a radar. With radars, we see seamlessly day and night under any weather, and we see everything from falling leaves to people to traffic to micromobility. We see everything, and we cannot harm privacy because we see everything as objects. The thing is that the rest is wireless. Okay, this is why we can fit to any existing infrastructure any city's got. Okay, in India, for example, we work on cellular second generation, and in the US we're working on 5th generation. All this range we know how to work with. The outcome is also different than what we have today. Instead of just throwing raw data to municipalities, we provide source to target, which means we collect the data, we analyze it according to the city's, I would say, issues or requirements, and provide in the way that you can do something with it. Okay, the days of raw data are about to end because municipalities needs answer, not data. And then we design the outcome to be accurate to the city's requirements. We can deliver it as dashboard. We can, if the municipality got a legacy systems, we can share all this information through APIs, or even send a daily summary to the mayor's phone. Okay, everything is possible with this design. How we track people? Basically, we see people as objects. Okay, we see only squares, and if we'll have time, I will show you how is it in live. And then we analyze what this object is according to its volume, velocity, and many more factors. This is in that way we understand if this is a person walking at the park, or this is a vehicle on the street, or accidentally vehicle on the curb. With this kind of solution or system, we basically tackling many use cases in the city. Okay, we are not focusing on a single use case that we want to solve, but we are focusing on a system that can solve many use cases, like bicycle lane tracking or crowd counting, and it goes all the way to community watch and to X2V, where the infrastructure can provide information in real time to autonomous vehicles. And basically, when you have a very smart vehicle, which we have today, to a very smart infrastructure, which we don't have today, then it's a win-win. If we talk about pricing of sensors, then we can say that in the same price of a single CCTV pole, we can install up to 50 sensors. So you can imagine the cost benefit for the municipality. And you can understand that we are covering a much bigger area on the same budget. Now, to deploy a sensor takes around 15 minutes from scratch. Just give us power, we connect it, and that's it. We found that we have in our hand a really game changer to cities, because if you think about it, cities until 2 to 3 years ago only focused on mobility. The thought was that if we solve the mobility in the city, then we've got a smart city with no traffic jams. But the reality showed it's a totally different story, because because we've got the residents in the city, we've got people. What can we do? But only the combination of understanding the mobility with people, with the residents of the city, with the inhabitants, can give a truly unique solution. Now imagine what is happening in a well-managed city. Everything is tracked, we can measure and correct in real time and understand. Then we've got a reduction in energy consumptions, because if a truck doesn't need to go, it will not go just to travel around the city and find some trash like it does today. And then we've got
we're starting to be short in time. If you can please
yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And basically this is the idea. If you have any question, I will finish with this. Okay, I will skip this. And team, okay, it was a long one. So thank you very much for your time, and looking forward to hearing from you.
Very much. I'm sorry I have to cut you short, but we're nearing on our time here. Your solution is, as you said, a absolute. I think it's incredible how many innovations we're meeting today. Your solution is very innovative. It's very interesting, and I think for Poland, where we are developing low emission zones and cities are really pursuing ways to gather data and then find out what the starting situation is and what to pursue, and kind of measure all the parameters of mobility in the city, all the modality types. This is exactly what's needed. Going forward, and our last speaker today from the Israeli side, from Urban Digital, Mr. Ramon Horkane, the VP for International Sales. Hi, I pass the floor straight to you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. So thank you for having me here. Let's see if I can share the screen. A minute. Okay. A minute again. Okay, can you see my, okay, I hope I have a video, I hope it will show. So Urban Digital is a pioneer in smart bus shelters for the smart cities. So I'll just go ahead. So some words about us. We were established in 2013. We are part of a larger group that is established already for 50 years in Israel. And what we do, we deploy in Israel and in Europe bus stations, smart bus stations. Our customers in Israel, it's almost every city and municipality. In Europe, we have started to deploy in Romania, and we hope very much also to come and serve in Poland. I will start with a video. I hope, can you see the video?
Welcome Welcome to the future of smart bus stations. Strengthening the municipality's presence in urban spaces is crucial for providing better services and improving communication with city residents and visitors. Urban Digital, a true veteran in the field, has already deployed hundreds of smart bus stations in Israel and in Europe, and is a leading manufacturer of smart bus stations for all major cities and authorities in Israel. Now presents the Smart Station. Beautifully designed and incorporating cutting-edge technologies, the Smart Station extends your municipal services onto the streets of your city, making the lives of your residents easier, safer, and more convenient. The platform includes passenger and city information, interactive city maps, smart card ticketing, security camera with AI capabilities, people counting, mobile phone chargers, environmental sensors, Wi-Fi hotspots, SOS button, and public announcements. Urban Digital, helping you extend municipal services to your city's urban spaces.
So what we are doing is we are deploying these smart bus shelters for several years. We can see also in the movie that the bus shelter was not really new. It's already 5 years here deployed, so it's a very mature solution. And what we have, a building blocks of the bus shelter is there is content management, maintenance and control and analytics. There's a camera and smart analytics of the camera. We have digital signage with information about the bus traffic, information about the city. There is sensors and different services that we provide, and of course the bus shelter itself. In terms of the benefits, so the main benefit that we see is to provide a better increase of a high increase of public transport. You discussed before about reducing emissions. So the main challenge today is just to increase the use of public transport. And this is what we are doing through a better and safer waiting environment in the bus shelter, because people wait in the bus shelter almost as much as they are on the bus. In addition to that, the system also supports local businesses, which is around the bus station, and enables also to generate revenues, whether it's advertisements or providing different information about what's happening in the street. In city information, we provide the people, the passengers that are waiting for the bus, information about different points of interest around them, local businesses, for example, if they want to buy a coffee, a pizza, something to eat around them, things to do in the evening, maybe take the time to see beaches, excursions. If I'm a tourist, I can do a map and around the city and provide information about interesting things around it, and of course the public transport information. Smart ticketing, I said. We see the bus shelter as a hub for collecting data. So we have different sensors and devices that collect this information. And this information can be used for different planning needs by the municipality. Security is always a main issue because one of the main things, of course, to use public transport is that it will be secure, especially at night, maybe in a business area that not a lot of people are walking there at night. So we provide, in addition to the camera, different ways of making sure that the control center of the municipality will monitor the person there and make it a safer journey. In addition to making safe, we also want that the area will be healthier by just providing information about the pollution, about the noise. So we all had the experience, I suppose, of waiting in a bus station and it was very noisy or very polluted. So we provide information about that, and then the municipality or the authority can do something about that. People counting, of course, and that's the main reason, is to improve the bus services. So if we see that we need in some places to enhance, for example, we're counting more people when the schedule of the buses, the frequency of the bus is low, or we have a high frequency of buses when there are not a lot of people waiting. So actually we are closing the loop of the scheduling systems, the systems like Hop-on that provide information or provide optimization means for the buses. We are giving information about how many people are actually waiting on the bus station and when. We provide a means for blind people in order so they will be able to identify the bus shelter, the bus station, and also notify them when their specific bus is coming. So it helps them to use public transport. They have no other means of traveling in the city, and besides taxis, of course. We also provide analytics about what things people are looking for in terms of information. So we provide a lot of city information, and that is from different sources, from the municipality data, web servers for third party like Google, our sources, and we can do analytics about what people were looking for. For example, things to do at night, information about municipality services, local businesses around it. Maybe people were looking for coffee shops, but they don't know that there is a coffee shop around it, and so on. I'll just show some
Ramon,
projects.
please, if I may, 30 seconds, okay?
Yes, of course. I'll show some. So one of our big projects is we are now deploying about 400 smart bus shelters in the metro of Tel Aviv. We have deployed until now about 150. You can see how it looks. For example, these are very robust bus shelters. This is in Ashdod, in the Tel Aviv train terminal. This is the bus terminal outside the train, in Romania. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think getting more public transport, safe public transport, better organized public transport into Polish cities is a priority. So hopefully your solutions will enter the market as well. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for pushing the time so much, but we do have a time constraint for the whole event. So we will now pass on to the Polish market. Fortunately, for the time, we have two, but hopefully more will be interested in the pitches that we heard thus far. So we will start with DuraPower. Mr. Adam Piotrowski, the technical manager at DuraPower. Adam, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Hope you can see me and hear me well.
I can see you and hear you well. Please, the floor is yours. Please try to keep it within 7-8 minutes. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks. I have to actually rejoin to the meeting because I had no permissions for Zoom. Just give me 1 second, please.
We wait for Adam. I will comment. It's incredible how much the offer that was presented by the pitches of the Israeli companies is perfectly aligned with the needs of the Polish market. Some of them I've addressed in my presentation, but I think it's quite visible. I mean, the needs of the Polish market and the innovation that can be brought along and the perfectly aligned solutions is quite amazing. So it's great to be able to have had all these interesting presentations and offers that we could have seen today. Adam is back with us, so we resume his presentation.
Okay, now I hope it will be okay. All right, thanks. So basically about DuraPower, we are a Singaporean company. We were founded in 2009 and we have subsidiaries in China, Thailand and Netherlands. Poland is not yet on the list. I will tell you in a couple of moments why. But we are basically in various sectors of, let's say, smart economics, e-mobility and energy transition, starting from the e-mobility, which stands about 80% of our business. going towards to the specialty like port applications and chemical compounds, marine sector, and stationary part, which is basically working with the renewables and also storing the energy over time. So basically, we are in 23 countries right now. Poland will be on the list next year because we actually are establishing JV with our Polish partners. And basically, most of the market we have right now is west, north part of Europe, as well as Asian region. If it comes to the Polish JV, what we are planning to have is a cooperation with the Compremium Polish listed company on the list. They are actually specializing in the EPC infrastructure projects, also let's say creating windows and doors for the premium markets, and also with the Maydensha Group together with Elmodis, basically PCS provider for the, let's say, high voltage solutions for the grid applications as well as infrastructure. If it comes to our products, basically that would be mainly batteries for e-mobility, as I said, but there is no much, let's say, technical difference between how the battery work, because despite the size of the vehicle or let's say container, technology is almost the same. The difference is usually focused on the high energy or high power application, which means long time or short time, but high power for the particular case. So basically, we are also in small units, starting from the, let's say, small mobility, like 2-3 wheelers, tuk-tuks, going towards through the light commercial vehicles for the deliveries of the packages, as well as, let's say, public transport with the electric buses, hybrid buses, and also moving the containers using the automated guided vehicles. We specialize in the products which are not easy for others to make, so we are basically focused on the high-performing batteries. And basically the root cause why we are in this market is that basically we developed in-house NMC cells, which are produced by us and also designed in the next generations. Different sizes, pouch format always with NMC technology. And we go to the complete module design, later battery packs and complete containers. As I said, we are also in the energy storage systems. So basically, if it comes to our activities, we are focusing mainly on supporting the grid. So that would be, let's say, big applications like a container or cabinet size. And I think in Israel, you are, let's say, fully aware how important it is to have support for the grid with the energy storage system. So basically, such kind of, let's say, energy storage can be used as not only a standalone unit, but also cooperate with the existing other solutions, for example, like electrolyzers, or also with a let's say regular grid. Energy storage can be obviously used as energy as a service or power as a service to stabilize the grid. It can work in island mode without the grid power. So it is very important when you have blackouts in the grid. Everybody this year hopes it won't be any blackouts in European grid, but everybody knows how basically energy prices looks like this year. So it's not easy, and we'll see importance of such kind of products in very near future. So if it comes to benefits of using energy storage systems, as I said, mainly that would be cooperation with the renewables, so supporting the clean energy generation by the PV or wind farms, but also diesel genset replacements. I'm sure that you know how noisy they can be or pollutant they can be in the, let's say, urban environment. With a battery-powered one, you have no noise, vibration, and pollution in the same place. So it is really good benefit for the, let's say, smart and clean city. And also importance, one of the previous speakers said also about the supporting charging infrastructure with the smart management. In our case, we support charging infrastructure by, let's say, peak shaving and also making the energy clean. So we are able to use energy from the sun or wind when, for example, there is no sun or no wind. So from my side, that would be everything. I think I have managed in 7 minutes with my technical problems, hopefully. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm giving the mic to the Alec.
Thank you. Yes, you did very well. Thank you for this. Sorry for the haste, Dear Power. It's incredible, also incredible technology, and it's good that you mentioned peak shaving and this energy balance, because I think this is very needed for markets such as Poland, and hopefully we will see Duropower's presence increased in Poland very soon. We're moving on to our last pitch, our last speaker, the CEO of Move, Volodymyr Sukach. Are you with us?
But you can see my screen now, right?
I can see your screen now, yes, that is correct. So please take it away, and please keep it within 7-8 minutes.
Right, sure. Yeah, so was that? You cannot see my camera? Oh, that's great. Yeah, so thank you for the introduction. My name is Vladimir, and I am the CEO of Greenmo. We have been recently rebranded from Move to Greenmo. And I am representing Greenmo as a group, not only in Poland, but in the whole Europe. So we as Greenmo believe that light electric vehicles, meaning electric bikes, electric cargo bikes, and electric mopeds, can be a real game changer for last mile deliveries, but also for personal mobility. We have 17 years as a Greenmo group, 17 years of experience in electric mobility in Europe, and we are the market leader with over 40,000 active vehicles throughout Europe, both electric bikes, electric mopeds, to the three-wheel vehicles, and we are also doing the B2B side, the B2C side, doing the personal e-bike subscriptions, for example, or the moped sharing, to the B2B side, where we rent fleets of vehicles to the guys like the quick commerce or the food delivery. So yeah, we started back in 2005, and we are now present in I think in 10 markets in Europe, and Poland has been a recent addition to that portfolio. So what exactly do we do? So we offer a multi-modal solution for everyone, from employee mobility to B2B vehicles for delivery and transport, private lease solutions for e-bikes and e-mopeds, as well as full service sharing solutions for e-mopeds and electric bikes for B2B and B2C clients throughout Europe. Yeah, so we have this advantage of being the largest light electric mobility fleet in Europe, which gives us great opportunities to finance and scale, also to give these vehicles for our customers. It can be as small as one electric bike or as big as a few thousand electric bikes for some of our biggest clients in Europe. So we can scale together with our clients. We can move the vehicles and fleets around the cities. We also do fleet management and maintenance. So we provide basically a mobility guarantee that every vehicle that we rent to the customers, we will provide a swap, the identical vehicle, as a replacement in 24 hours if it's broken. So these are some of our vehicles. So the electric bikes and electric mopeds. We do develop these electric bikes ourselves, and they serve in our fleet as this purpose-built bikes and mopeds for very high durability, long range, as well as comfort. And we also have this 3- and 4-wheeled vehicles. For example, we are cooperating with Dutch NL, the Dutch Post, or we, for example, provide also vehicles to the police in Belgium. So these are the vehicles specifically designed as well for the postal operations or other logistical companies. In some of the countries, we have this private lease solutions, which is basically means electric bike as a service for as short as 1 month for consumers, basically, but it also can be for B2B clients. And we have different types of vehicles for the B2C clients as well as for the B2B clients, which have different specifications and different use cases. And it's very easy and flexible for the B2C, and it's also quite flexible for the B2B customers to get onboarded. So the name of our company and the group is Greenmo, which basically stands for Green Mobility, and we have been operating for the 17 years and have this experience of running the largest fleet in Europe. So our vision and our mission is basically to electrify the last mile deliveries as well as this last mile short trips in the cities for consumers by giving this very easy to use and durable, high quality light electric vehicles at affordable and flexible terms for consumers as well for businesses. You can reach me out in turn if you are interested for any, if you have any ideas for cooperation. As well, we are looking for financing partners to finance our expansion in fleets. We'll be scaling up in Poland very soon, and we are now based in Warsaw, where we have a significant fleet of customers already, and we'll continue that growth in Poland and hopefully new markets in the coming years. So you can reach me out via email and just ask any questions if you'd like. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. This was very, very interesting as well. Thank you. So I'm going to say by wrapping up, because for the sake of time, the conclusion cannot be too lengthy, but I mean, we've had today a perspective on connectivity, safety, security, gathering data, all these innovative offers for all modes of transport, all modes of mobility. We had a perspective from Israel, a perspective from Poland. I think we really did have a Polish-Israeli New Mobility Day. I hope that the same type of day for 2023 will be live. I hope that we can meet, discuss, and I hope that on LinkedIn, email, or any other channels that we choose, we can connect and we can discuss further. We as PSPA are open to support and endorse all forms of cooperation on this forum, and we encourage it. I'm sure that the Israel Embassy in Poland does as well. So please let us know if you need any help, and we will surely make the presentations available per the wishes of the participants. It has been a pleasure and an honor to have you here today. Thank you for joining us, and please join us the next time as well. Have a great afternoon, and all the best. Goodbye.